what are kind of the, like broadly speaking, the options that people have to run traffic?
On Etsy?
Yeah, or Shopify as
Okay.
well, just in general.
Yeah, on Etsy, you have two, three. You have three streams of traffic. And, people will be like Pinterest and drive social media traffic to Etsy. I would not do that at all. Like if you're basically doing so well with your content that you can actually make sales off your, organic content, I would not be driving your traffic to an Etsy shop and then paying a 6.5% fee. I'd be driving it to my own website that I own and collecting that email and creating a whole experience on my website. So for Etsy, the three ways that you get traffic that I do well, and the fourth people would argue is like Pinterest, but basically organic traffic, two is Etsy ads, and then three is like retargeting. And basically that's it. I've personally never had success with Pinterest. I think it's really niche contingent. So I don't teach anything with Pinterest, but I think it is possible for some, niches, but it's just never worked for any of my brands. So yeah, basically when it comes to Etsy, you have organic sales, you have ads, and then there's retargeting. So after someone purchases, what's that journey you take people on afterwards to then get them to buy something else?
How would you actually go about retargeting someone on Etsy?
On Etsy, so what we do after every purchase, we send them a message manually. We send them a thank you message. Thank you so much for your purchase and supporting small family-owned business. Please follow us now on Instagram for XYZ discount. So then we basically get them to follow us on Instagram. They maybe take the upsell and buy something again. And we drive that traffic back to Etsy to show that we're getting a repeat buyer. Now we got a follower. So maybe if they want to buy something else, if you have a Shopify store, then you drive that traffic back to your Shopify store. If not, it's fine to send them back to Etsy. It can never hurt to get more sales back on your Etsy shop. So that's the first thing, is a post-purchase follow-up message. The second thing is a product insert. And so the core elements of doing the perfected product insert is that you have a thank you, maybe some care instructions, you have a offer, and then you have a call to action, and then you have a QR code. So that was a lot, basically. So in this funnel, and by the way, you can set up this follow-up funnel however you want. This is just how we do it. And the important winning here is that you have a follow-up funnel. Like, don't just get a sale and then say like, bye customer, never talk to you again. After you get a sale, you want to basically keep that conversation going as long as possible. And every micro commitment that someone makes to your store after the purchase, subconsciously, they're becoming more loyal to you as a brand, whether you know it or not. So even if it's just like a click over to your Instagram or a follow or a tag, right? Those are micro commitments that someone's making to you that's making them more loyal to your brand, like subconsciously. So they get their product insert, and now hopefully they already followed you on Instagram. And now there's another offer. So the first offer was 15% off if you follow us on Instagram. Now the second offer has to be sexier than the first offer. So it could be tag us on Instagram with your new product for something super sexy that like they can't refuse. 40% off one item if you tag us in a story or a post. And now you just got user-generated content. They followed you on Instagram. You didn't have to pay for that follow. And your Instagram is now getting filled with the most hyper-targeted traffic, which is people that had spent money with you, basically. Now, if someone goes out of their way to tag you on Instagram, that is a super, super loyal customer. And they're probably going to buy something else again if they're going out of the way to do all these things. So that's like the second kind of moment of truth. And then the third thing that we would do is we would do these cattle calls, basically, where we say we're launching an ambassador program and basically then drive all those people into an ambassador program that offers a promise, which is like custom discount codes for every purchase, like 15% off. They get their own discount code, right? They get to be a part of exclusive giveaways, exclusive contests. They get first dibs on new product launches, right? And so now you're kind of building this like community around your products. And we did this for accessories. So people were going into a Facebook group for accessories. So if you can do it with this, then you probably can do it with most things. If the nature of your niche is, pretty, strong, or the nature of your brand has strong messaging. So like our messaging was all about like self-love and body positivity and mindfulness, and we had this like really strong messaging with our brand, and so people really resonated with that. And I myself was like, wow, we just got 150 people into a Facebook group to talk about accessories. Like that's wild. And people were engaged, but it like really works. So for like print on demand, if you have, I don't know if this would work really well for a general store, but like maybe for a store that cultivates like a strong brand message, this could work probably really well, especially if it's like something super targeted for like teachers or I don't know, anything that like cultivating
like a specific hobby.
Exactly.
Yeah. A very niche interest or something. Yeah. If there's enough of an audience for a specific topic, that sounds like a really good thing to at least try out, right? Doesn't hurt trying it. Those are some really good tips. So that's on the Etsy side of things. What are some, I guess you can do some of that stuff on Shopify as well, but what are some of the additional things on Shopify that you can do to drive traffic?
So for us, our sole source of traffic was meta ads. So we took actually the data from our Etsy shop. So like our most viral product, that's the product that we would focus on making all the ad creatives with. And we would run all of that to our Shopify store. So we would, use those ad creatives for our best-selling product. That was data that we took from Etsy and then translated that into, our Shopify. And so at our height before the iOS update, we were spending like $2,000 a day profitably. The margins were a lot less than Etsy, but it was still profitable. And for us, it's a lot more work than Etsy for less money, but at scale, it was still making sense for us. And so we would do meta ads. We had a whole influencer outreach department. And this was back when, it was a little different times back then. Like an influencer with like 20,000 followers would send you a media package and be like, it's $10,000 for a shout out. So what we found actually is that our best influencers were actually people that had already spent money with us. And we were like that whole funnel that I just explained with the insert tagging us, like naturally we were getting like a bunch of micro influencers or actually big influencers just buying from us and sharing, through that funnel. And we found like our best affiliates from our own customer base, basically. Because when we would pay an influencer that maybe had 300,000 followers, like it would tank. The video would tank, but then like some girl with like 2,000 followers would like kill it and make us like $4,000 or something. You know what I mean? So it was really interesting to see. But I understand that not everyone has that in the beginning. Like they don't just have a bunch of like customers that they can go and pull from their database, which is fine. And it's okay to do influencer outreach, but I would definitely just do it in exchange, start at the low, like do it in exchange for like free product in the beginning. Because honestly, in the beginning, the important thing is just getting your product in the hands of hundreds of people, making video testimonials, because those video testimonials and having a bunch of people vouching for you is more valuable, when someone goes to your website to see that like, hundreds of people have bought your product and, they're taking pictures with their product. Like that content is so valuable to have. So even if you had to give away 100 free units for some video testimonials, like that's for Shopify, it's like almost necessary. Like you can be curing cancer, but like it really doesn't matter if no one's vouching for you, basically.
Yeah. Okay, it's kind of like the social proof.
Correct.
That you need. So it's better to do that rather than jump in and pay an influencer like 20 grand just to wear your shirt or whatever it may be.
I mean, you can, it's just super risky, right? Like, yeah. And if you are going to pay influencers like that, you want to really, want to get them to validate like a case study example. Like, hey, show me like some results you generated for, a parallel item or something similar. Mm-hmm. You just need proof that like, everyone's an influencer now, but there's only far and few between that actually have influence, meaning that they actually influence people to make a purchasing decision. Like that's when you're really an influencer, when you can influence people's purchasing decisions. And so everyone with an account that has over, a couple thousand followers now is an influencer, but it's like you got to really find the people that actually influence.
Yeah, you could have 100,000 followers and only be influencing 1,000.
Correct.
Or you could be influencing 50,000
Right.
with the same amount of followers. So yeah, that's a good point to have like a case study to back it up.